Hi, I'm Antonio Centeno, the founder of Real Men Real Style, and today we're celebrating 100 videos. I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions that I've received, kind of personal questions, but I know you're probably curious about them. I'm also going to talk about the future of this video series. We've covered 100 videos, and I'm going to talk about the next 100. In addition, I'm going to talk about how you can help this video series grow. And finally, I've got a secret tip for you on if you really got a burning style question and you want me to answer it quick, how to get me to jump on that quicker. Okay. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. By doing that, these videos will come right to you. In addition, I'm going to link down below to our 47-page ebook, really great ebook. Highly advise you grab it. And finally, if you like this video, if you find it useful, I would appreciate it if you would like it. Okay, let's just jump right into this. You guys have come at me with some really good questions, and some of them are a bit more personal, and I've held off on answering them. But let me go ahead and answer some of them, and this is something that's been asked more than one time. So if you only asked it one time, I'm probably not going to go that deep, and I'm not going to get too personal. But many of you guys have asked, how did you get into this? You have a background in the military. How did you transition into becoming a custom clothier and a tailor? And the truth is, I'm not a tailor. I'm a custom clothier. And the difference is I'm more on the business side. So, you know, I work with some amazing tailors, and I realized that I didn't have 20 years of experience like my tailors do. So it was something that I came in and I worked with these gentlemen. I got my MBA at the University of Texas, and that helped me jumpstart my business, me understanding how to do this kind of stuff. And I brought these guys together, and it's been the last 4 years have been amazing. I feel like I've been a big part of helping revive a dying craft by helping raise awareness and kind of bring these guys, the art that they do with the needle and thread, and bringing it to more men's attention. So I'm really proud of that. The other question I get is, okay, Antonio, what about these lapels on your jacket? We look at your jacket and the lapels are not symmetrical. I think I've got it notched here, and then I've got, you know, what is this over here? Okay, well, I wear a custom-made sports lapel, and I saw this on a jacket a long time ago, and didn't think much about it. Then a client asked me he sent me a jacket and had it. I'm like, I love this. And this jacket is actually designed, it's a historic jet piece, so it's designed to actually close up like this. Because if you look at any old military jackets, you'll see that a lot of them go all the way to the top, just like what I showed you there. And that's because they were designed to fully encapsulate the top of the chest and keep you warm. And in fact, in the Marine Corps, they call us leather necks because we wore a strap of leather around the neck to protect you from, let's just say someone tried to cut off your head with a sword. It would have to be a very strong blow. Probably, you know, if they had a battle axe, well, strip leather ain't going to stop that. But no, that's the story behind my lapels. I really like the history and the bit of a military side to this part right here. Okay, so you guys are always asking me about, why are you always wearing a sports jacket? And you don't seem to have a whole lot of sports jackets. I thought you would have like 10. And the answer is I only keep around 2 to 3 sports jackets down here in the studio. And overall, I've got a pretty small wardrobe, and I practice what I preach, and what I talk about is for you to have an interchangeable wardrobe, and that's exactly what I have. So I have less clothing than you would think, but all of my clothing is classic and works with each other, and it's interchangeable. The other thing is you guys ask about, okay, Antonio, why can't you add more pictures to your videos? You know, I see you up there talking. Why can't you just, give me a presentation and a slideshow? I've done that with a few videos, but I find that for these videos, it's really hard and it takes a lot of time to edit them. And I didn't want to put out 1 video a month. And in fact, I'm going to try to increase this to about 2 videos a day because I really want to get out the information. And I'm developing something called the Style System. And in the Style System, that's where I'm going to step-by-step show you how to build your sense of style and build a wardrobe. And I realize in those videos, I'm going to make it much more where you've got pictures in there. But for these videos I'm putting up here on YouTube, I'm going to keep them really simple because I want to get to you very quickly. Okay, so what's up for the future? What's going on with the next 100 videos? And yes, now that we've had 100 videos, the next 100, I can tell you 50 of them are already going to be Q&As because you guys have sent me a lot of questions. I think I've got 50 in the queue, and I expect there to be more. So I'm trying to work through those. I take them as I get them, and I'm going to share with you the secret tip at the end, how you can bump yourself up to the top. I'm also going to cover a lot of product reviews. So there's little things that I receive. You know, this tie is a gift from a friend of mine named Hendrik Pohl, and he runs a great company, which I'm going to highlight and talk about his neckties. I've also received some neckties from Charles Alexander. I've got some great accessories that I'm going to be reviewing. I've always, I think I've already talked about Rib Tea and Michael Swartz and his company over there. So there's quite a few, who's it? Leather Honey, I'm about to hit them. So there's a lot of companies that I need to review, and I want to share with you about their products. And this is not a commercial. These are products I really believe in, and I wear and I use, and I want you to know this so that you can make an informed decision, because there's a lot of information out there, and I want to help you weed through it. Okay, so I'm also going to be talking about hair with a barber. So I'm not just going to talk about hair, because as you guys can see, my hair is pretty simple. I don't have a lot of it, and I'm not really styling it too much. But I know that this is something a lot of you all have questions about. So I'm going to be partnering with a barber, and she's a very, very intelligent woman, and we're going to go and we're going to talk about old school barbering. I'm not going to get so much into a lot of salon and styling kind of stuff like that. We'll touch on it, but this is going to be old school barbering and how you can, go in and talk to your barber and sound like you know what you're talking about, be able to get what you want. All right, the next 1,000 videos. Yes, believe it or not, I'm thinking that far ahead. I really want to get into series, and these series are going to be 10 to 20 parts, 10 to 20 videos in which we stick on one topic and I go into it in a lot of detail. So a lot of my early videos, I spent 10 minutes on the subject. I'm wanting to break that up and maybe have like 10 videos that are each 3 to 5 minutes long. And so you can give me some suggestions of what you would like to see with this series. But I am going to talk about hair. We're going to talk about grooming. I'm going to talk about neckties. And I'm not just going to talk about how to tie a necktie, the one way. We're going to give you 10 different knots to tie, because I know that you want to change these things up, and there are different knots that you want to use for different collar types. Okay, so how to help? How can you, I know not all of you all are going to ever buy my clothing, but I get a lot of emails, and you guys are asking, how can we help you, Antonio, grow? Well, the best thing that you can do is to share my videos and to pass them on to men who can really use this information. I think the videos, I try to keep them really useful and really packed full of information. And I think men would appreciate this because it's discreet. They can watch this on their own time, in their own privacy of their homes, and they don't have to worry about somebody saying that they actually care how they look, because there's a lot of guys that they still aren't going to get past the point that, dressing sharp is manly. But whether, that's not really the point. The point is I want more men to dress sharp. And I don't care if they're going to, shout out that they're dressing sharp. I just want them to do it. And so if you know some guys out there, please pass my videos along to them. And of course, like, subscribe. I ask you to do that in every video, and you guys are doing a great job. So what is the secret tip? How can I jump to the back? Because like I said, I've got 50 questions in the queue, and actually there's a few more that just popped up, and they keep coming in. Well, the secret answer to get your answer up to the top is, one, for it to be a good question. So if you've got a good question, and when I mean good, you actually have maybe an example, you give me a lot of detail, and you probably, the best way to actually get a hold of me is to either, whenever I put out a video, comment right below it. And the number one way, which I will respond probably to your question within a few days, is if you send me a video response, I'm going to answer your question, because if you think about it, you put it out there and you kind of put me on the spot, because you're saying, hey, Antonio, the world can see I'm asking you directly. Can you help me? You do a video response to one of my videos, we'll get back to you very quickly. So that's probably the secret ingredient, the secret tip. Get in front of the camera. It's not as bad as you think. Just flip on your webcam, ask me the question. And again, give me as much detail as you can, because sometimes people ask me questions and they don't tell me anything about themselves. And I really can't give you specific information if I don't know a whole lot about you. And just to let you know, I'm always, though, going to try to keep it pretty general, because I want it to apply to as many men. I don't want it to be so specific that it only applies to you, because I'm trying to help a lot of guys here. But at the same time, I really do want it to be useful for you. So it will be a bit specific, but not too specific, if that makes sense. Okay, guys, this is a big thank you from me. I really appreciate it. You guys have made this channel what it is. I appreciate all the feedback, all the likes, and I read all the comments. So keep them coming. and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.